Hey guys, welcome back to Honey in the Rock episode 56. I'm Sophie and this is Ella.
Hey guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It's an honor to be back.
This is not your first appearance or your second appearance.
It's my third.
Look at her go. So she's basically just like hired on the team.
Pretty much.
Well, this week I sent her a reel and I was like, will you talk about this with me? And she was like, sure. You know, Instagram Reels is really where it's at.
Better than TikTok, no matter what anyone tells you.
Which people make fun of us because we're on Instagram Reels. If you don't know what that is, it's like the Instagram, it just has this thing where it just shows like short videos. It's basically TikTok, but on Instagram and like 3 weeks behind TikTok. So we will be laughing at things that we think are funny, but all the TikTok people will have seen it a month ago.
Exactly.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
We get to bond over that.
Yeah.
But we're just going to kind of talk about today when you're watching somebody else get their miracle while you're still waiting on theirs, and how you're supposed to respond to that or how you can even react to that in the first place. So we're just going to kind of dive in.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get started.
I'm excited.
So this kind of can apply in a lot of different ways. So whether you're praying for something just like a gift or even a miracle, whether you're praying for that boyfriend to show up, and then your best friend gets a boyfriend that's so perfect and well-rounded and you're just like, oh great, I'm still single. Or if you're praying and just want to be a mom so badly but you can't get pregnant and your sister-in-law gets pregnant and you're like, oh dang, she got that miracle and I'm still waiting on mine. Or if that's in marriage or even at work, you're waiting for the promotion, you're like, I need a job, God provide, you're asking for that raise. And just a really big one is just in healing. Like you're praying for the miracle of your dad being healed and somebody else's grandpa gets healed. If you're just watching other people get miracles and you're still waiting on yours.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, I feel like it's even like in the little things. It's like, oh, I really want to like go on this big vacation. Now I'm looking at someone and they're going on it and I'm home this season. It's like, it's so easy to just constantly compare and be like, oh, I've been waiting on that one thing. Or like, all little things.
And if you're going into the comparison aspect of that, that's just going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Like if you're always comparing what everyone else has to what you have, it's like, okay.
Yeah, you realize how quick it is to start to like spiral because you're just like constantly just like, you're never satisfied.
Right. And I think often when we're praying, like when you're watching somebody else get their miracle as you're praying for your own, you tend to say, or we tend to say as well, hurry up, God. Hurry up, God. Like, where are you? Hurry up, hurry up. But it's like, wait, when did it become my time schedule? When did it become about me? And I think I just have to reel myself in, humble myself again, and be like, wait, it's easy for us to say, hurry up, God. Like, actually, we need this to happen now.
Yeah.
But we have to trust God that his time schedule is better. And true trust and faith says, God, I trust your authority. Or like true trust and faith says, God, I trust that even though you haven't healed this person yet, I trust you in this, or whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Trust is a big component of it because I feel like it's easy to be like, you're just waiting forever and you want your time to come. And then when it doesn't come, you're like, it's never going to come. And it may never come, but that's like, doesn't mean that God may think that's not the perfect thing for you in that moment because he'll think he knows he has a better plan for you. And it's so hard to see because it's like, you've already set this like plan for yourself where it's like, this is what I want. Right. And then when God gives you something else, you're like, ooh, that's not what I was asking for.
I was literally thinking about those.
Really?
That was something I wanted to say. Like, think about was just like, well, or telling God how our miracle or prayer is supposed to look. It's like, God, okay, I need you to heal this person in this way like this. Well, all of a sudden, when that wasn't in God's plan and he provides that miracle in a different way, we're not going to see God working in that because we set our head expectations in another place. Yeah. And so I think sometimes cry out to God, talk to God. Yes, pray. But I think there is a way to pray that still gives God the control of like, hey, Lord, like we are praying for healing for this person, but we also trust you that your plan is better. So bring us peace and comfort during this season. Or something a little more like that in setting it up. Or even in like a job, like, Lord, like instead of being like, God, give me this promotion, I can't provide for my family. Be like, Lord, I'm having a hard time providing for my family right now, but I know you're the ultimate provider. Yeah. So we trust you to continue to provide for us and lead us into the next steps of what that looks like. So almost making sure you're giving your prayers to God with him still in control. Because like what you're saying, like if it's so set on what we're saying and then God does it how his perfect plan is, we're like, well, where was God in that? You know,
Yeah,
when he was actually there all along.
I think that's good.
And then when you're watching somebody else get their miracle, it's okay for it to be hard. It's okay for you to be like, dang, that is hard, because it is hard. But I think when you're celebrating other people well and loving other people well, it takes it a little bit easier. Like if I can, let's use a small example of like a test. Yeah. Let's say you get 100 on a test, I get a 40 on a test. Yeah. That can stop tempting. But instead of me being like crying and being so upset with myself, so upset, not saying anything to you, and then you feel bad that you got a good grade. Yeah. Instead, I could be like, good job, Ella. Like, I know you studied so hard for that test, and I'm proud of you. Right. And if I can turn on to you, it takes the attention off of me. Yeah. And I get to celebrate you. Yeah. And I can just study harder for the next test, you know? So I think it's really important to celebrate other people well. And then Proverbs 14:30 says, hold on, sorry. Wait, what was? In tranquil hearts, give life to the fresh, but envy makes the bones rot. And so that just means, like, if our hearts, wait, how did you explain
a heart that's like a heart that's at peace, and you're just learning to be okay with your circumstances and put all your trust in God, will come out to give the life to the flesh, rather than if you're just living a life where you're just always envious and always just wanting what the other person has. That will just honestly cause you to just never be happy with the life you have, and to always want more, when really, like, what you have is so amazing, and God has a plan for you that he thinks is best for you. Right. We talked about that verse right before, and then when I froze up for a second, but it really is true. Like, when you have peace with God and you have peace and contentment, and his plan is better than our plan, then that's going to give us peace to our body is going to have peace and patience for the Lord. But if we're just always envious and always striving to do exactly what everyone else is doing, or wanting what everyone else is doing, it literally says makes the bone rot. Like, that doesn't really sound enjoyable. No. Yeah. And so it's okay to, like, be upset when you watch other people. Yeah. But you have to control that. You can't let that take over. And you also have to remember who God is, and where that truth, trust, and faith come from. And even if it's not right now, it may be later. Right. And, like, I don't know. I just do think it's so easy, like, especially, like, in teenagers nowadays, like, to be, like, so comparing, because we see everything on, like, Instagram, and you see a lot more of, like, what people are getting that you didn't get, more than, like, in person. So I think it's easy to, like, look at that really enviously, and instead to just be grateful for what you have, because got a lot to be grateful for. Yeah, if you, like, turn it to gratitude, count your blessings. Yeah. I know there are really hard situations. So, like, okay, yes, my brother is sick. This is literally terrible, but let's look and see what we do have. I do have two parents that love us. We live in America where the hospitals are so good. If you turn it to gratitude, it's not like making it smaller, the actual issue, but it's turning and looking for the good as well. Yeah. So it's like, oh, I am in a season of singleness right now. I'm, like, praying for a boyfriend. I'm praying for a boyfriend. It's not showing up. Everyone else around me is having this great boyfriend. Oh, well, let me look to see what I do have. I have so much time to fully focus on Jesus. I can fully grow my relationship with him. So it's almost like turn it into gratitude, and continue to stay in that. Okay, when in your life have you felt like you were praying for something, and I put in quotes around this, God gave it to someone else? Because obviously it's not like God has one miracle a day, and he's going to give the miracle today to Ella, not to me. It's not how that works. We're not saying it like that. But when it feels like you're praying for something, and it looks like somebody else got that same thing. I feel like there's a lot of circumstances I could bring up where I just, like, I'm so good at being like, oh, man, I really, like, wanted that thing that they just got. Yep. But I mean, I feel like a big thing in my life was my brother, who has a brain tumor. It's been since I was 8 that he's had it, and it's been a part of my life ever since. He's still having surgeries and radiation and whatnot. Right. So it's easy for me to look at that and be like, oh, why do I, like, still have this? Right. And then this other person, like, maybe had something, like, happen, but now it's, like, okay, and they're doing good. So I'm like, why do I feel, like, dragged down by this? But instead I got realized, like, this is just, like, this is a part of the plan that God gave me, and this is, honestly, it's helped me grow closer to him. Right. And although it is okay to, like, be sad by it, and to think, like, to know it is tough, but, like, God's got a plan, and you just got to trust that and keep not pull away, but draw closer to him.
Right. That's good. And like, I think I've seen this in a couple of different ways as well, but like if the past couple episodes, I've talked a lot about Grant. And if you look for that in that story, in the moment, we were praying for his miracle. We were praying for him to be healed completely here on earth, or that's what we thought we were praying for. But instead, Jesus healed him completely and fully in heaven. And it looks like God gave the miracle to the people that his organs got to go to, or the other kids that were wearing their seatbelts or anything like that. But once we turn it to those like what ifs, or even like, well, they don't deserve that. It's like, well, none of us deserve it either, you know? So
that's a good point. None of us do like deserve what we have. Like we all are, and end of the day, we are all sinners who don't deserve anything we have. And so like it is such a blessing to even have the blessings we do have from day to day that God has blessed us with.
And like we don't deserve a way, like such an easy way to get to heaven, like just by Jesus, through Jesus, by faith alone. And so, you know, if we think about it a little more that way, I think it helps me being like, okay, wait, let me trust the Creator. And then how do you feel like you've said, hurry up, God, in a situation? I'll share my example first if you want to keep thinking. So I've had like a lot of ear surgeries from when I was like 5, and I had 10, and like one surgery after another, and they kept not working. Every time have surgery to close my eardrum, and like a couple weeks later you'd go in for the check and somehow the surgery didn't work, over and over and over again. And they're like, oh, maybe we'll try this, and literally it was never working until the 10th time. And I don't really know why the 10th time worked. It was just a God's plan that the 10th surgery is when my eardrum closed. But I think during that season of life, it was like, hurry up, God, like just heal me, just fix this thing. It was really minor in the aspect of like life. You know, I can survive with a being half deaf. I can, you know, move on. But at the age, it was like, hurry up, God, answer this prayer so I don't have to wear earplugs swimming when I'm in elementary school. Or hurry up, God, like I'm missing another week of school because I'm having to have this surgery when it's not working. And so it was just such a season of like, hurry up, God, like why is this not working? Hurry up. But eventually when it worked, when God's perfect plan and timing had it to be, I have a full eardrum now. I still can't really hear out of it, but I don't have to wear earplugs in a swimming pool anymore. And so it just looks in that, and his timing was so perfect. The timing that I was able to have it be healed was perfect timing. And now I can see that. And I also can see what I learned through those seasons. It's just like, I learned what it looked like to be brave. I learned what it looked like to rely on God. I learned what it looked like to pray. And so in that season, if God was like, oh yeah, I should hurry up. Well, then I want to have learned all those things, and I want to have seen God's grace through it all. And so I have to just remember that it's his timing over ours.
I think that's good. Yeah. I would say a big hurry up God for me was high school. I started to have a lot of anxiety falling asleep at night, and I just would lay awake for hours and I couldn't fall asleep, and it would just like tear me down, because I'd lay awake at night and I'd just be so angry with God, because I'd be like, why can I not just fall asleep? And so I'd be like, and so instead of like, I would lay awake at night and I would pray and I'd be like, God, just like, let me fall asleep right now. It wouldn't be like, and I'd be like, when is this going to be done? Like, when am I going to fall back to sleep normally? When am I just going to be able to lay in bed and just go to sleep? But I learned like, I can use that time, like when I can't sleep, to just like pray to God and thank him for all the things I had during that day. Like I could have used that time for so many things when I was just more just like frustrated with like, why was God making me lay awake at night and just like, and I can't do anything. Instead, it's like, God had a plan. He's now taught me like when I do end up laying awake at night, it's gone a lot better. But when I do, it's like I can lay there and I can be like thanking God for list things or praying for people.
Or even just being still. Being still and hearing him. Maybe he was like, hey, you're so busy. I need you to hear me. So be still, you know?
Yeah, because I'm such a go, and like it freaks me out when I just like am like, and so like I would lay awake at night and I would be like, but I'd be like, oh, I got so much like jitters. I'd be like, like what you said, like it's a good time. Like it was God showing me like this is a time for you just like breathe.
Right, take a breath. Yeah. That's so good. And then I'll give one more example. This happened to a friend of mine, but she is a little bit older than us, and she's in like a very single season. and like this is what she was craving. She just wants a boyfriend. She just like yeah. I mean, and I think it's okay to have a desire to have a boyfriend. I'm not saying that's wrong, but she wanted that and wanted that and wanted that, and that's what she's been praying for. And one of her best friends is gonna get engaged any day now, and so it's just like hard for her
to
watch that, but then also learn to celebrate. And so that's what me and her were talking about, with this thing of both and. So it's like I can love her and celebrate her and throw her the best bachelorette trip and be there for her wedding and celebrate her in her season of life.
Yeah.
And I can be like, why is this not happening to me?
Yeah.
But then also just continuing to trust God in that. It kind of goes into like lamenting, which is just kind of crying out to God with trusting. So it's kind of like, God, why would this happen? But I'm trusting that your plan is better. So give me peace. So it's been really cool to see her walking through that season, just of like her being able to celebrate somebody so well, even though I know what she's celebrating is what she wants.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes you have to put your desires on hold to celebrate other people.
Yeah.
And that's so fun at the end of the day.
I agree.
It's fun to celebrate people.
You can celebrate people.
Yeah. What were we doing the other day when you yelled out the window at that lady? When we were in and this is kind of off topic a little bit, but
that sounds bad. Let's explain the yelling at a lady.
Hold on, say it.
No, there was when we were like in the car, and just these two people were like walking down the road, and I was just like, hey, y'all look cute together. I don't know, it's just like
okay, yeah, but why I brought that up was because it's fun to celebrate people. It's fun.
And they just walked away like smiling.
Yeah, like thank you. And we were just like in our friend's car, and she has a convertible. We kind of look like we're in like a teenage movie.
Yeah.
Like driving downtown in this convertible. It's just 4 girls, our hair flying.
Yeah.
And she just saw them. She's like, I'm gonna say something to them. They were so cute. You guys are so cute. And they were so happy. Yeah. And then like we were like laughing for a long time because it was fun. And so just to learn how to celebrate them. Yeah. And instead of being like, screw them.
Yeah.
Look at that happy couple when I'm, lonely. Like, no, celebrate them. Be happy for other people. So,
because you don't know how easily you can make someone stay by just like a tiny little thing. Yeah.
I love your sweater.
Thanks. I actually thrifted this at Goodwill for $2. So
wow.
It was a
That's
great
really
purchase.
Nice.
Thank you.
Look at you go.
I know. I'm a terrible thrifter. And so this was, I was proud of myself for
shocking.
This one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, just to wrap it up. When you're watching somebody else get the miracle you're praying for, or you're watching somebody get the miracle and you're still praying for something else, just hold fast to God. Trust that His plan is better, and that when our true trust and faith comes from God, and just to hold on, because it's not our place to say, hurry up, God, because we don't know what His perfect plan is for that. So
that's good.
Thanks for being on the podcast.
It was an honor being here. Thanks for having me.
Doing last minute stuff.
Yeah.
And hope this was encouraging to you guys. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.